Hi everyone, it's Audrey Alison, and I just wanted to set up this intro video to thank you for your patience in the delay for the November forecasts. It's 5 days after November, so I appreciate your patience with that. For those of you who've been patient, I wanted to let you know the reason behind this is because I just made a major move. I moved across the United States and I drove, and I really had a blast, but I could not record because I averaged about 8 to 9 hours a day in the drive. And it's very draining to record the videos. I needed to reserve a lot of my energy. And when I got to my loft in Jersey City, I didn't have Wi-Fi yet. I moved, so I have to handle some things in my own life, and I appreciate your patience. Right now, I'm still setting things up in the loft. So I'm at my mother's house, the house I was born and raised in several decades ago. But what I love about the timing of this is I didn't realize I would be recording here. And what I love about this room is I always get a lot of energy when I'm home in this house. This is the room my father passed away in, and I always feel the presence of him here, and as well as other family members, but I feel like it's going to be something special. So I really appreciate the patience with getting these up. In my new space, it'll be more conducive to recording, a little more professional, and a lot more quiet and clear and clean energy is in this loft. So I'm excited to have more time and the right space to record in. My older property in Los Angeles was starting to get very invaded with lack of privacy in the area, and I was surrounded by a lot of energy that wasn't working for me anymore as a reader. And that'll change. You know, I lived in that place for 14 years, quite a long time, and it just I can't really explain it. I know I needed a change, and this is exactly where I needed to be. So, on to your forecasts. Again, thank you for your patience, and I'm wishing you a beautiful month. And the next video you see will be shot from my new place. So I'm excited about that too. This whole transition is exciting for me. Okay, on to the forecasts, and I'll see you soon. Hi Capricorn, my name is Audrey Alison. Thank you for joining me for your November 2016 forecast. If you haven't listened to the intro, please do. It'll let you know why I'm delayed a few days here. And it'll also tell you a little bit about this room that I'm reading in. I'm excited to be here. And I'm using the Alchemical deck by Robert M. Place, my steadfast deck. We have some transits I want to discuss, so again, thank you for your patience. And let's get to it. On the 9th of November, this is great for Capricorn. I love this. Mars is entering the sign of Aquarius. Aquarius being the sign right after you, this is impacting the second house. Money, budget, possessions, self-worth, self-confidence, all energy is here. Mars is energy. Mars is stamina and quick, rapid pace. Mars is anger and aggression, so watch your tone regarding finances, but I feel like this is about all of the energy for 60 days in the money sector and expanding the money, because when Mars enters Aquarius, this ignites the air sign energy of Jupiter in the sign of Libra, so they will be trining. And Libra is your 10th house of career. So what this says is that Capricorns could be going through a serious elevation in earnings and promotion, the 10th house of promotion and status change. And Jupiter sitting in that career sector, expanding it, just waiting for the luck here, is probably waiting for Mars. Because when Mars hits on the 9th and then is there for 2 months, you are definitely changing the title. You are moving forward in career. You could be paid out in retirement in a massive way for those of you who are at that age. And it just does wonders for increasing the earnings. Mars in the second alone, without Jupiter involved, is increasing the earnings. But having the most expansive planet we have trining Mars, the most energetic planet we have in the money sector, this is huge for Cap. So I love starting that there. Now, on the 11th, Venus, another personal planet, makes a transit into your sign, into Capricorn. This happens once every 2 years for about 30 days. I'm sorry, once every year for about 30 days. And this is when Capricorn is looking their best. Venus is about aesthetics, beauty, the smoothing over of money and love. So having Venus in the first house conjunct Pluto, because Pluto's been in Capricorn. So Capricorns have felt that intensity for years, have felt at times when there's not a lot of positive transit support, have felt oppressed. But now with Venus here, she's smoothing this energy over. Capricorn is looking their best, feeling their best. You have people attracted to you. You're drawing in the right people when Venus is in the first house of self and body. And it's important to have a nurturing sense of self-care throughout that time. So, all things grooming, head to toe, and then massage, and even treating the body to a better, healthier lifestyle Venus could really provoke. So I love that. You've got Mars in the money sector, Venus in the first sector. Now on the 12th, Mercury, another major player, the planet of communication, the messenger, Hermes, the messenger, enters Sagittarius. So from mid-month on, from the 12th on, a lot of Sagittarian energy is impacted. And this is the house of rest for you. This is a quiet energy. I love this month for Capricorns because it's okay to take a break. It's okay to take a rest in the year of endings, in the last 3 months of the year, 2 months of the year at this point. It's about dwindling down, weaning out a lot of fast-paced energy and getting ready to implement things of that nature in January. But when Mercury enters Sagittarius on the 12th, this will trine Uranus in Aries. So the 4th house of home and your roots, and it's a quiet house as well, and the 12th house of quiet and rest and spirituality, and the house of release, the house of addictions, of unwanted behavior, of endings. You could really see a quieting of an internal process. You might be going through quietly what no longer serves you and then releasing that by the time the new year comes around. I like Mercury in the 12th for dreams and premonitions. For those of you who don't take Ambien before you go to bed, this could be a really great time, because I know sleeping pills and a lot of alcohol, that tends to suppress the subconscious mind when you go to sleep, so you don't really remember too much of your dreams. But when Mercury is in the 12th, your mind is very active and your REM sleep is very active. And when Mercury is in my 12th, I always keep a notepad by my bed anyway, but I always find it more full when Mercury is in my 12th because I'm constantly writing throughout the night. It's inspiring to receive messages through dream. Now, on the 14th, we have our full moon, and this is at 22 degrees of Taurus. This works for you because you are an earth sign, and having a closure and culmination in Taurus suggests an ending to, the 5th house. This could apply to seeing children go back to school, or having an ending of a creative endeavor that came to a closure at that time. Seeing that your independence could come to an end at that time. Maybe you have to do more with others, because the 5th house is extremely independent. It's a lot of fun and pleasure in this house. Something's illuminated here. It could be about children. But something needs to be seen, because where the full moon sits, there is the awareness, the illumination. This could put an end to some gambling habits around mid-month, the full moon in the 5th. It could also see an end to a lighthearted dating or romance. This would not apply to marriages. This is not a divorce type of thing. The fifth house is someone that you're dating, that you are maybe not fully committed to, but it's a lighthearted kind of energy. You might just decide that it's not your cup of tea and move on from that. It could even be, and I'm hearing this because this isn't what I would normally say, but I find it interesting because I learned something in every forecast when you're a messenger yourself. They're saying you might put an end to a relationship because of someone else's kids or because of your kids. So interesting. Fifth house is children. It's also dating. So if you're not vibing, if you have kids and you're in something and they're not meshing with the other person, you could decide, just to save face and make everything easier on everybody, we're just going to nip this in the bud and move on. On the 21st, we have our sun in Sagittarius. So this is, again, 12th house energy. The sun will be conjunct Mercury. And shortly after, on the 29th, our new moon is at 7 degrees of Sagittarius. Sagittarian energy, 12th house. So Mercury the messenger, the life force, the sun, and the new moon, the impetus in this 12th. Some of you Capricorns are getting very spiritual. I might pull the Hermit card for you. I'm feeling a little bit like you could retreat, which is absolutely fine. I have to say, there's nothing better than recharging, and sometimes you need to do so very privately. And if you work in any type of metaphysical arena, such as astrology, or you're a reader, or you're a therapist, you're even a doctor, you have to give of yourself to others, this is the time to recharge. And there is a gaining of something new in the 12th house, which could just be the rest itself through the Thanksgiving holiday. So happy Thanksgiving to those people in the States who celebrate. We have that holiday coming up. But recharging and actually, I want to say getting a hold or a grasp on any addictions is important because you're dealing with the 12th house of addictions, but it's also the house of release and letting them go. So sayonara to the addictions there. What's no longer useful to you is going to become important to you because this is a lot of internal processing with the 12th house activated. And again, you might not be sharing this with other people. This is just something you're going through. And even though in this day and age with social media, people can't even change their curtains without posting about it, I feel like you might keep some things to yourself, which is why I got the visual of the Hermit. So let's shuffle these puppies and see what comes up. By the month's end, we will have Neptune and Chiron direct in Pisces in your communication sector. There's a healing with siblings as well. For those of you who have been dealing with something in the third house of siblings, Chiron is there, the wounded healer, the asteroid, to smooth over that relationship. Neptune is there to make it a little delusional because with Neptune direct, there's the rose-colored glasses energy with just wanting everything to be okay and sweep the drama under the carpet. But Chiron's there to make sure you're actually fully healed from that drama. So let's see what comes up here in this deck. And if you'd like to read with me, I read all through the week. I'm at audreyalison.com and I'm on Facebook, Audrey Alison Astrology and Tarot. Capricorn, King of Cups, internal work. Also a water sign male, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. This is intuition at its grandest. Self-fulfillment, that whale is providing for himself and filling that chalice with just the water around him. Let's see what else comes up here. 8 of Coins, hard at work. Hard work, earning a living, repetition, being on repeat, concentrating on what your tasks are and only your tasks, not being distracted. And that's interesting because it is a very personal month for you with the 12th house energy. You don't have time for distraction. This moon card, this moon is coming up a lot. It's the Piscean energy, but it's also that Neptune energy, the dream state. It's the 12th house as well. 12th house is naturally governed by Pisces and the solar wheel. Emotional energy, dream state, dream recall. Let's see what else. The Emperor, lots of major arcanas are coming up in the readings because we are going through a major shift in our year. We are in the year of endings. We are about to enter the year of beginnings. I know I say this a lot, but it matters because we don't get this, and this happens every 9 years. So you will be your initiator. The Emperor is a catalyst card, fire sign male. It represents Aries, March, and Mars. Mars in your second house of money, but you're your own leader. There's also an independence that comes along with this card. Let's see what else comes up. You have a few. You have 2 more. The Star. Yeah, major arcana. We're elevating. Now, promotion is in the works for Capricorn. All eyes on Capricorn in the 10th house of career, where Jupiter's stationed. Trining Mars in Aquarius, which is the money sector. The Star is very peaceful, but it's about recognition. And Capricorn deserves their piece, their pie in the sky is what I think I'm getting. I was going to say piece of action, but it's P-I-E, and I think it's just pie. Deserves their pie in the sky. I think it's time for reward. And look at that, 2 of Cups. Relationship energy. Now, your 7th house isn't affected in the transits, but having this, a card of Aquarius and peace and hope and recognition in your relationship, that might be the one area where Capricorn is good. Capricorn's good. You could have a steady marriage under your belt or a monogamy. You're putting an end to anything lighthearted, and it's about more serious relationships. I feel like you need to be more reserved. Now, this isn't the Hermit, but it is a very quiet and internal card where you're responsible for only yourself. Pay attention to your dreams, Capricorn, especially from the 12th through the rest of the month and even through December, because your new moon ends or is on one of the last days of the month. Take charge of your emotions. Not everyone knows what you are feeling unless you tell them. So that could mean 2 things. You don't have to tell people what you're feeling, and therefore you can keep it to yourself because not everyone can read what's going on with you just by looking, unless you're extremely intuitive. Or it could mean you have to express yourself in order to be understood. But either way, it's up to you. With the Emperor and the Moon, you need to take charge of your actions. You've got 3 major arcanas here. Every reading is getting major arcanas, and I mean a lot of them. So this is next level. We're all trying to ascend here. Your focus is your work and your relationship. The 2 areas where I feel like you're going through promotion or you're just really steady. You have a grasp on that. Please watch your rising and ascendant and your moon sign for your forecast as well if this isn't resonating with you. But I feel like through repetition for Capricorn, the repetition of work and keeping your focus very limited on just what you're doing and how you can complete your tasks, and maybe keeping what you want to yourself and being in control of those emotions is important through the month of November. I hope this was helpful. I'm wishing you a sweet November, and remember, the sky is limitless, so reach for the stars.